All right, greetings everyone. Do it the other way, man. All right. Greetings everyone. Sorry about that. We were supposed to start at 11, but I was trying to get it off, see if I could use my laptop. But I don't know, I was having some technical difficulties there, so I said, all right, well, I guess I got to use my phone. But yeah, this is a special show. We missed the last few weeks, last couple of weeks rather, right? We missed last Friday and the Friday before that. So I said, let's go ahead. I'm snowed in today here in Atlanta, Georgia area. We got some snow. Wa alaikum salam. So I'm snowed in. So I said, well, got some free time, might as well use it, right? Can't go out to work today because of the weather. So I said I'll just use this time to catch up on what we missed thus far. All right. So, and a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things have transpired since then. All right. And by the way, everyone, if you just quickly, if you want to donate today, instead of using the super chat, you should be able to see in the description of the video a link. Can anybody see that? Otto, can you let me know if you can see that? Can you see in the description area while you're talking the link where you can donate? Is that visible? I just want to know if you guys can see that from your perspective. All right. If so, yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So yeah. So instead of using the super chat, use that link instead. That'll take you right to the donate where you can donate, because the super chat, like I said, they take a lot of they take a heavy percentage from that, and then you have to wait like a whole month before you can actually before you can actually gain access to it. So if anybody wants to, if you would like to make a donation, you can use that link, and that'll get straight to me. Okay. So I actually prefer if you use that instead. All right. But yeah, like I said, couldn't do it the last 2 weeks. I had to put in some extra work, so we were unable to catch up with you. But today I have no choice, because we got a lot of snow today, so not much work can be done today. All right. But if anybody can, like I said, if you make any donations, use that link instead. Okay, use that link instead, and that'll come great right to me, and I could use that, and I appreciate it. All right. So let's talk. We got some things to talk about today. So and I appreciate that, Otto. Thank you for letting me know that you guys can see that. Appreciate that. Okay. So let's see what happened since the last 2 weeks, the last shows we missed. Well, we know recently we had the issue with Trump, right? Allegedly, of course, they say he's denied it, but allegedly referring to some some other countries as feces holes, we'll put it that way, right? Feces holes. And there was a lot of uproar about that here in the United States about him referring to the countries that, again, allegedly, right? Because again, he allegedly denies it, right? He allegedly denies it. But a lot of reporters say they heard him say it, right? A lot of the people who were present confirmed that he said this. So, who knows? But I tend to think that he said it based on his character, based on what we've seen of him thus far. I tend to think that he more than likely did say that, right? He more than likely did say that. So, let me see something here, because I also want to try to get this on the widescreen. So, but I don't know, when I turn my phone, it says rotate. Why is it locked? Let me see something. Let's check. I thought I had. Let me check something real quick, everyone. Bear with me. Auto rotate is on. Okay, auto portrait. Right, it's supposed to do it. See, that's another reason why I wanted to try to use my laptop, so we can get, when I rotate, it says it's locked. All right. Yes, it won't do it. Rotate device. All right. Well, I don't know what's going on. My phone, when I'm not in the YouTube setting, it's set up to rotate, but I guess we got to just deal with it in this form, unless I can get my laptop working. I was trying to get I did it before. I don't know why. What's going on? Why I can't? I was trying to see if I can use the laptop, because at least with the laptop we have the widescreen, but all right, nonetheless, nobody's complaining, so it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, so we heard him make the allegedly make the comment about the shithole. Let's just say it straight how it is. The shithole countries, right? and why they have to come here, etc. And of course, the response to that has been that, number one, the people who come from those places, they actually come and contribute to the United States, you know, right? A lot of the immigrants who come from these so-called shithole countries actually come and contribute to the benefit of the United States. A lot of Haitian immigrants, a lot of people from different African countries come here, and a lot of them actually outperform native, they perform Americans that were born here. A lot of them, especially like Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians. There's a lot of stereotypes about them, but a lot of Nigerians actually come here. A lot of people from other African countries actually come here, and they do well as far as business. They do well as far as education, and they actually outperform Americans that were born and raised here. But of course, as I've been saying for the last dozen shows, that it's all about white supremacy and racism. So they're going to ignore those facts and promote a narrative that supports them, right? They're going to promote a narrative, no matter how false it is, that upholds their that position, right? As long as they can get away with upholding that position, that belief, then they're going to promote that no matter what the facts are, right? And so that's part of the false narrative, to say, oh, these people are a burden on the country, they're worthless, they're garbage, they don't contribute, when the reality is that a lot of them come here and they're business owners. They do well in education. They have degrees a lot, and that's another report that I saw, that a lot of these people, and again from African countries. I'm not talking about from European countries, the stereotype that the black people come, they're garbage, but in actuality, a lot of people who come from Africa actually do very well. Did very well. They have degrees, more so than the population that's born here, right? Including white Americans. They do better than white Americans. So, but again, that's part of the false narrative. That's part of the false narrative. Such claims make them feel good, right? Such claims make them feel good about themselves, to say, oh, these people are, this and that, when the reality is the opposite. I've had arguments on Twitter before where where I had to point this out to these people, because that's their ignorance, that they believe that these people are a bunch of no good immigrants with nothing to contribute. And I say, look, there's articles that show, even in the UK, that immigrants from Africa, black African people, Middle Easterners, whatever, that they actually do better than you. They actually come to your countries and they outperform you in education, in business, in income. They earn better incomes than a lot of the average person from the UK, the average white person. And I want to say white person because those are the ones who are making the argument, right? Those are the ones who are making the argument. So I'm directly more so speaking to them, right? I'm more so speaking to them, because black Americans, and we're not talking about that. We're not like, oh, I mean, there may be some coons and Uncle Toms who might try to talk like that. But the majority of black Americans, we're not talking like that. Right? We're not talking like that. So it's usually white Americans or whites from the UK who talk like that, when in the reality is that these people who come from these countries actually do better than you. But again, this is what allows them to get by deluding themselves with these false claims. You know what I mean? So that was one of the big things right there. Right? So not too much to say other than that. The other thing is, as you should know, I have my debate tomorrow, inshallah, right? My debate tomorrow at Kennesaw State with Andy Bannister. I mentioned that. I believe I mentioned that from the last show that I did. I mentioned that. Hopefully things will still go as planned because of the weather, right? Hopefully things will still go as planned. Excuse me. I don't know you're so much. But yeah, hopefully things will go as planned despite the weather. And the university is in northern Georgia. So usually they tend to get more snow. If it does snow, they tend to get more of the bad weather because they're further north. So it's colder up there, and a lot of times they usually get more snow. The debate starts at 7 o'clock. It is going to be live streamed. I have to get the Eastern time, by the way, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm trying to get the I'm trying to get the who's this? That's Brother Ejaz? That's you, brother? Brother Ejaz, yeah, tonight I was planning on probably catching up with you tonight, brother, inshallah. Because I know I wasn't able to catch up yesterday or the night before, but we did. Me and the brother spoke. Me and the brother Ejaz, if anybody's familiar with the brother, also another Muslim debater up in Canada, right? And so, you know, we, me and the brother would talk. We had a private talk, just me and the brother. But inshallah, but yeah, probably this evening I'll catch up with you tonight. Like I said, I wasn't able to go. I had to work the last few days because, you know, business kind of slowed down a little bit. So I had to try to put in some extra work. You know what I mean? And today I can't do anything because of the snow we got, so I really can't put any work. So so inshallah, if you help your brother out with some donations, that would be much appreciated. All right, that would be much appreciated. I'm completely self-employed here, so yeah, your donations definitely help if you can, inshallah. I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, so like I said, the debate is tomorrow, inshallah. Like I said, we have bad weather here, so I don't know. I did get an email today from one of the students who are part of the it's an organization, you probably heard of it, Ratio, I think they pronounce it, Ratio Christi. It's like some kind of on-campus Christian organization that's, from what I understand, on a lot of college campuses. So they're the ones who have put this event together. The Ratio Christi, yeah, they put this event together. So I did get an email, and the young man said he was looking forward. So to me, that I assume that means that things are going as planned. I assume, but I did send him an email this morning to make sure. I said, look, are things gonna still go as planned? You know, despite the weather. So I'm waiting for his response. I'll see what he says from there, because like I said, I don't know based on the weather. Like I can't even leave where I'm at, because where I live at, there's a lot of hills, and in order to get out, once you leave the complex where I live, there's a hill. And as I was preparing myself to go out this morning, some of the other residents told me that I wouldn't be able to leave because they're stopping people from leaving for safety, because people who try to go up that hill, which leads out to the exit or the entrance of where I live at, cars have been sliding back down, and there was a big pile up. So I was like, oh wow. So I cleared my car off, and I was getting ready to go, letting it warm up. And the other residents was like, you're not going to be able to leave, bro. You're not going to be able to leave. Wa alaikum salam, Kanik. So they said I wasn't going to be able to leave. So I said, oh, well. So I still cleaned my car off all the snow. And then I just came back inside. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, inshallah. I'll keep you guys updated and posted. But as far as I know, for now, it seems like it's on. I'll check my email in a little bit after the show, and I'll find out, you know, what's going on. Hopefully, I would like to do it. Hopefully we can still get it on, but if not, mashallah, you know, the weather sometimes does that, you know, but we'll see. Like I said, I couldn't even get out of my complex here because of the ice. I guess the ice and the snow is making cars slide back down the hill, and I don't want to damage my car or get stuck like that. So we'll see what happens, inshallah. But yeah, as far as the debate, it's with a man by the name of Andy Bannister. Right, it's with a gentleman by the name of Andy Bannister. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look him up. He is connected with what's the guy's name? Ravi Zacharias, right? That's the guy's name, I believe. Who's the head of the organization, which is an organization that their outreach is directed towards Muslims, right? Yeah, their outreach is directed towards Muslims. They concentrate on trying to, you know, do missionary work, I guess, towards Muslims. You know, but I was watching some videos of him a little bit this morning, and you know, I don't know, I guess it seems like I'm hearing the same typical arguments. Like I was watching some videos about the supposed evidence for the resurrection, even though that's not our topic, but it may come up, right? It may be connected, because the topic is about Jesus, man, myth, or God. So I always try to prepare for different things, and I assume that might come up, even though that's not necessarily the subject matter about the resurrection, but it could be connected to the topic. So, you know, I just wanted to see what he was saying. And the videos that I saw where he was talking about the supposed evidence for the resurrection really wasn't evidence at all, right? It really wasn't evidence at all. Basically, it was, you know, like superficial stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what were some of the arguments? And of course, it was all based upon the Bible. It wasn't like he didn't reference any non-biblical evidence. You know what I mean? It was all, they were all like assumptions. Like, for example, he said, oh, like, let's see, let me think of some of them. One was, that supposedly, early Christians and Romans, hypothetical, exactly, hypotheticals, like supposedly, the empty tomb, he used that one, that the women, like the women came to the tomb. But I'm like, of course, I have my response to that, which would be that, well, number one, based on Mark, the women go to the tomb, but according to the earliest versions of Mark, they don't tell anybody. So that's not really a testimony, because according to the earliest version of Mark, they don't tell anybody what happened. It says they go to the tomb, they see the tomb is empty, they run away, and they don't tell, and it says they never told anybody what happened. So that's not really a testimony, because they didn't tell anybody that supposedly the tomb was empty, and they didn't see Jesus alive either. They just saw the tomb empty and they leave. And then even if you take the supposed longer versions, the other gospels where the women go and tell the disciples and all of that, and of course they use this as an argument to say that back in those days, women's testimony was considered garbage. So yet here's the Bible supposedly using the women as a testimony, as witness testimony that Jesus was resurrected or whatever. And back in those days, that wouldn't have been done, because women were seen as incredulous or whatever back in those days. But yet here is using the women, so that's a supposed proof. But of course, like I said, this is all superficial information. That, like I said, Mark shows that the women didn't tell anybody. They didn't testify at all. They just saw the tomb was empty and they ran away. And according to that version, nobody ever finds out that Jesus was gone, right? Because they left, they ran away, and therefore they didn't tell anybody. So then, if that's the way the story ends, then nobody, we have to leave it up in the air. They didn't tell anybody. So how did anybody know he was resurrected if that's how the story ends? And in that version, that's it. The story is over. There are no after resurrection appearances, you see. So to me, so I was like, okay, I've heard that before, and that's not evidence. That's not proof that it actually happened. Of course, he made the reference to that, to the so-called appearances. But again, these are appearances. Why didn't he appear to anybody who wasn't Christian? See? So to me, that's not proof either. If he allegedly appeared, why didn't he appear to some people who were not Christian, so that they could also say, hey, here I was, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a follower of this man, but he appeared to me. I'm a Roman soldier, right? I'm a Roman soldier, and he appeared to me. Matter of fact, why not appear to Pilate? Here, I was Pilate, governor or whatever, prefect, or whatever he was supposed to be, procurator, prefect. There's a discrepancy on what he was. But here he appeared to me, the man who I allegedly sentenced to death and saw die. He appeared to me alive once again, right? But instead, no, he only appears to believers, right? He only allegedly appears to believers. He doesn't appear to non-believers, right? So no, there are no Roman records where any non-Roman believer says, oh yes, we saw the reappearance of the man who we had sentenced to death, allegedly. And of course, I always say there are no records of the Romans sentencing Jesus to death anyway, right? There's no records of the Romans sentencing Jesus to death. So that's another problem. But these were the superficial arguments that were brought. What else did he bring? What else did he use in that video? Again, it was all based upon the gospel. Again, it wasn't any, it wasn't any outside historical information. All gospels agree that Jesus, that type of stuff. No, he didn't touch on that one. But I've touched on that in my other debates to show that, look, this event was said to have coincided with the death of Jesus. Yet there are nobody recorded that, right? No one. That would have been something that would have been very amazing, right? No one who was not a believer recorded, even if you didn't know that Jesus was crucified, right? You would have seen the dead people. Somebody would have seen the dead people coming out the graves and going into Jerusalem, right? Jerusalem, as it is now, as it was then, was said to be a major city, right? At that time, a place of high traffic. A lot of travelers passed through there. So you probably would have had people from Africa, people from different parts of the region, from the Mediterranean, etc., traveling through that area, and yet nobody writes that there was one day where I was in the city and we were amazed that we saw the people coming out of the graves. The dead began to rise from the graves and they walked into the city. But there's no record of that. Matter of fact, what would have been even better is that what if you were one of the dead people? What if you were one of the dead people who was dead and now you find yourself alive once again? Wouldn't you write your own story? Right? Perhaps wouldn't maybe one of the risen from the dead who have risen, maybe wouldn't they have written themselves, say, I was dead for however many years, and one day I find myself back alive. I'm back alive now. Now I return to Jerusalem. I went to look for my family. Or, you know what I mean? Nobody talked about that. That's a good one, brother. Exactly. That's a good one. Yes, exactly. Josephus and Tacitus allegedly speak of Jesus's event, which of course they say is a forgery, and Tacitus wasn't an eyewitness. But how come they didn't talk about that? Good point, right? Why didn't they write about that? They wrote about everything else, allegedly. Why didn't they write about that major event? How could you ignore that event as well, right? If you're a historian, a writer like Josephus and Tacitus were said to be, how do they not speak of that event? I mean, that would have been major. I mean, even if that happened in this day and time, who you couldn't ignore that. Let's say that they say, hey, in the year 2018, there was a day when people were coming out the graves. A writer writes that, right? And let's say that it's the year, it's the year 3018 now. And people look back and there's no record of it. How could that be forgotten? How could CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, BBC, how could they ignore it? Al Jazeera, how could they not write or report on the event of dead people coming out the graves? How is it that they would be silent about that? And that's basically what we have here. Matthew, and by the way, Matthew is the only one that mentions it, right? John doesn't mention that. Mark, Matthew, Luke, right? Not Matthew. Mark, John, Luke, they don't mention that. Only Matthew has this, right? Only Matthew has this. Nobody else speaks of this event. And in fact, there were other writers even after that, like in the book that I always like to mention from the Jesus Mysteries. They list over a dozen writers who were very well-known writers from that time period, and none of them mention Jesus at all, and they definitely don't mention those events. Other non-biblical sources don't mention that event of the dead coming back to life. That would have been a major event, right? That would have been a major event, sure, correct? Yet they're not mentioned. So, it's just very interesting. I think the earliest manuscript tested this. Right. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So, so like I said, so the video, it wasn't. I thought I was gonna hear. So I wanted to see if I was gonna hear something new. I thought I was gonna hear something new, but it was the same old, same old stuff. It wasn't nothing convincing. Well, I don't know. Like I said, the topic is supposed to be Jesus, man, myth, or God. So I would assume that it would mostly stay in that realm. But like I said, because these other events are connected to it, it could come up. The resurrection could come up. The crucifixion could come up, even though it's not a direct part of that discussion of whether he's a man or a myth or a God. But it still could, it still could be connected, because the argument could be made about that. So we'll see. Basil Kandil, how you doing? Assalamu alaikum. So that could come up. It's possible that could come up. So I like to kind of cover those bases just in case. So I just wanted to see what he was going to offer. But I'm going to watch a few more before the day is over. I want to check. I need to put some time in and check out his debate with Shabir, and just kind of check out some of the other stuff just to see where he's at. You know what I mean? Just to see where he's at. But as I said, so far I didn't see anything that makes me have to say, oh, I better bear down, you know what I mean, and look for some new information, or I better, do some extra studying or something like that. Not that I don't prepare anyway, but I mean, but nothing that made me say I need to do something extra or go, you know what I mean. course, I never take a debater, lightly. I always try to be prepared, well prepared anyway. But you get what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I'm not hearing anything new, anything new. I'm hearing the same thing that they pretty much all say. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. But inshallah, it should be a good topic. You know what I mean? Jesus, man, myth, or God. But yeah, that video was interesting. And there were other videos too, not from him, but from other people. Because when I looked up that video, I saw that other people have made videos, and they were all pretty much the same thing. They all use this same kind of conjecture-ish type of argument. They're all, to me, that these arguments are based upon conjecture. You know what I mean? Because there's no evidence. Oh, he also used that one too about the supposed that how they always say, well, the supposed claim that the disciples were willing to die for that belief. And as I've always said, there is no evidence that the disciples were willing to die for anything, because there's no evidence of that the disciples even existed. Right? There's no evidence that the disciples even existed for anybody to even make the claim that they were willing to die for that belief. And as I've always said, that still doesn't, even if they were willing to die, that doesn't prove anything. Because I always tell them, I said, well, if that's your argument, then that means Islam is true, because we have stories that the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that they were willing to die for that belief as well. So just because somebody's willing to die for something, a belief, doesn't mean that the belief is real or true, right? That does just, you know what I mean? That's not a proof that the thing, all that means is that the person in their head believed it to that extent, but that doesn't mean that the actual idea or belief that they're willing to die for is actually real. It just means that in their head they believe it. That's it. That's all that means. In their mind, it's real to them and they're convinced of it, but that doesn't mean that the thing actually took place. If somebody's willing to die that Santa Claus is real, does that mean Santa Claus is real? Just because you're willing to die for the belief in Santa Claus, does that mean that Santa Claus is actually real? No, right? It just means that in your mind, you're convinced in your brain, in your mind, that Santa Claus is real. But because you died for that belief, still doesn't prove that there's actually a man who lives in the North Pole with flying reindeer and elves as workers, and now that Christmas is over, he's back to working, right? He's back to working all year long until this Christmas 2018. That, just because you're willing to die for that doesn't mean that that's the actual case. So but that's the type of argument. Those are the type of arguments that were presented. You know what I mean? So I thought I was going to hear something new or something historical, but I didn't hear any of that. Now, yes, you said, what do I think about the PhD in Islamic studies? Well, I think doesn't Robert Spencer also have, no, I think his is in religion, I forgot. But basically, I'm saying that to say is that it's not convincing to me, because a lot of these people who have that, it's in like Western Islamic studies is the issue. You know what I mean? It's not like he has a degree in Islamic studies, meaning from an Islamic university. Like he studied under sheikhs and imams and stuff like that. No, this PhD in Islamic studies is a Western. Now, if I'm wrong, then fine. But usually these people have Islamic studies from the Western perspective of Islam. It's not like they have it in how you would if you studied at an Islamic university. You understand what I'm saying? So that, to me, that's no issue. Who we have no historical information is mainly, yes, exactly, calling Christians, exactly. So that's going to be the issue there. But yeah, like I said, with the Islamic studies things, that it's, to me, it's no issue, because it's always from a Western university and it's based upon that. It's not like they have a PhD in Islamic studies from a Muslim-run Muslim Islamic studies, which would mean that they studied Quran and Hadith and fiqh and all these different things like that. No, it's usually from a Western perspective on Islam, and so that's what is there. And like I said, with Robert Spencer, I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if Robert Spencer had a degree in Islamic studies or in religion. I forgot. It might be just religion with Robert Spencer. I'm not sure. But again, that doesn't make them, you know, a formidable foe because of that. So, you know. What was that was said? Let me see here. What does Messiah mean in Islam? What do you think about how Christians say they died and went to hell and came back to All right. What does Messiah mean? Messiah means the anointed one, right? It means the anointed one in Islam and in, you know, and in the biblical circles. It means the anointed one, somebody who's anointed by God, chosen by God. That's what it means. See, I don't know. A lot of times it seems from my discussion with lay Christians that they seem to think that Messiah means God or something. A lot of times when I've spoken to Christians, the lay Christians, they seem to think that that Christ or Messiah means something other than what it means. They seem to think that it means God or God in person. It doesn't mean any of that, okay, Christians? Messiah, Christ does not mean God. It does not mean. They also seem to think that it means Son of God too. That's another thing that I've seen from discussions with them, that they seem to think that it either means God. They think that it means Son of God or something to that effect. But it doesn't mean none of those. It doesn't mean God. It doesn't mean Son of God. It doesn't mean God in person. It doesn't mean any of that. All Messiah means is a person who is anointed, i.e. anointed of God. Right? That's what it means. Somebody who's anointed of God, chosen by God, or anointed of God. You know? That's all it means. And in Islam, it's no different. Right? In Islam is no different. And in fact, when you get to the root of it, Masih in Arabic, and of course this coincides with the Hebrew meaning as well, is that because the Masih is like they say, like the actual, when you break the word down, it's meaning like the rubbing, because of course, as you know, the ceremony of the person who's anointed, they get rubbed with a holy oil or holy water or something that they get rubbed on their head or something of this sort. So that's actually the root word of the Masih in Arabic, which is that rubbing, where the something is rubbed onto something. And that's the origin of how it is in Hebrew, that the person that's anointed as the Messiah, you get like a holy oil or something rubbed on your head. So, and this is like the symbolization of you being chosen by God to be the one, the anointed one, and you get the oil rubbed on your head and whatever the case may be. So that's all it comes down to. What was that? Trying to see the text. Let's see. What do you think of Tobias Singer? He exposed. All right, brother. All right, calling Christians. Talk to you later. Wa alaikum salam. What do I think of Tobias? Yeah, I think I mentioned Tobias Singer on the last show we did, right? The show we did 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. I believe I mentioned him then. And yeah, he's pretty good at refuting. You know, he's pretty good at refuting the Christians, or, you know, making the Jewish argument against the Christian missionary claims and things like that. Does this have relation? No. As far as I know, no. The Masih, the rubbing, does not have anything to do with the deleting of sins. It has to do with being, you know, chosen by God as the, you know, and a lot of times too, the king, right? The king, the one who would be the king of the Israelites, is the anointed one. He gets anointed because, and he's ruling. He's basically is looked upon as he is the ruler over the people, chosen by God to rule over the people. So it has nothing to do with erasing or deleting sins. It has to do with you are the one who is the ruler of God's people, right? You're the ruler over God's people. God has chosen you to rule over his people, so you are the anointed one. And like I said, it actually comes from the anointing of the oil. The person's head is anointed with a holy oil or holy water or something of this effect. Their head is anointed, and it's a symbolization that this is the one, right? Everybody else, you must follow the one that has been anointed, the one who has the holy, you know, the holy oil anointed to their head. So that's what it comes down to. It has nothing to do with deleting of sins or any of this sort here. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. That's what the debate will be about tomorrow, inshallah. That's what it'll be about. Okay, that's what it's going to be about. So we look forward to it. Look forward to it. Like I said, inshallah, the weather will permit for the event to still take place. So we'll see how it goes. What other things? Any other interesting things in the news? Right? Wa alaikum salam, Mostaf. Is that Mostaf or Moshaf? Mostaf, welcome. Welcome here. Jesus, according to Quran, is his word or soul. Not his soul, and not his word either. It actually says he is a word from God. He's not the word or his word. He's a word. Right? He's a word. He's a word. He's a word from him. So a lot of times when Christians look at the Quran, they read it that way, and they miss that it's actually saying he's a word from. Right? Min. From. He's from. He's not the word. See? So they try to think that it's talking about be on Pal Talk. Yeah, inshallah I will be on Pal Talk, yeah. I'm actually on there now, but I'm just not active because I'm doing this the live show right now. But like I said, I might do that today. I might actually maybe I'll let you guys watch as I do some discussions on Pal Talk. But yes, like I said, so a lot of Christians, a lot of times they read the English of it and they think that it's saying that he's the word of God, like it says in the Bible, but it doesn't. It actually says he's a word from him. Right? Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me get something real quick. All right, so it actually says he's a word, right? Not the word, a word. And same thing with the spirit. Yeah, a word from what is it? Bi kalimatin minhu, from, not the, from, right? From. He's a word from. Bikalimatin minhu, from. Same thing with the spirit. Then also too, that's another one they try to say, look, he's the spirit, where actually it says a spirit from. Ruhu minhu, right? Ruhu minhu, from him. He's not his spirit, he's not the spirit, he's a spirit from him. Okay, and it's the same thing with all of us, right? We all are spirits from him. So they take that one part and run with it as if, and this answers your question about Jesus being special. And they run with that and say, oh, look, see, no, but I'm like, no, because Allah says he breathed the spirit from him into all mankind, not just Jesus. Right? Not just Jesus. In Surah, in Surah 15, verse 29, it says Allah breathed the spirit into mankind, into all humanity. Right? Yes, one book, right. Clearing Jesus from blasphemy, right. Which has a new title, which is the new title, which is He Never Was God. So, matter of fact, pick up the book if you can, inshallah. Get a copy of that. You can get it in ebook form or paperback. All right? Ebook form or paperback. If you go to my Twitter, go to Mr. Islam on Twitter, and I posted on just go to my profile and you'll see the links for it right there. You can get the book right there. It'll take you right to it. Again, you can get it you order it? Good. Alhamdulillah. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. So yeah, anybody else is interested in getting the book, you can get it through there. Right. Amazon Kindle, so you can get an ebook or paperback. All right. So yeah, support your brother. Support your brother. Speaking of support, once again, those who just came in, if you want to support your brother in his efforts, right in the description, there's a link where you can make a direct donation. Okay. Instead of using the super chat, you can make a direct donation. Just click on that link, and it'll take you right to where you can make a direct donation to help support your brother, myself, Mr. Islam Answers Back, in our efforts to do more dawah work, more work, period, and helping out the brothers and sisters, helping the community out. All right. But yeah, so as I was saying about the word from him and spirit from him, that's what it says. It says from him. It doesn't say that it's his own spirit, or that it is his, or that it is the word. It says from, a word from him. A word from him and spirit from him. And again, mankind has that same thing. Jesus is not the only one. Mankind has that. You can see 15:29. You can also see Surah 32:9, again, where it's reiterated and stated again that it is a spirit from him. Okay? Ruhu minhu. Min means from. Min, from. Okay? So minhu, from him, from him. And the same thing about Jesus. Okay? A word from him. So yeah, so again, like I said, the debate is with Andy Bannister. Andy Bannister. Just look him up. Look him up. Look up Andy Bannister. Put it like, if you want to make sure you find it, put like Andy Bannister Islam or something like that. That way YouTube, the algorithms will send you to videos that he's involved in. Okay? So what was that? I'm sorry, somebody said a statement there. Let me see what you said there. Trying to see the comments. Where is it? There we go. Already ordered it. Any upcoming debate? Yeah, tomorrow, inshallah, for Basil Condit. Yeah, tomorrow we have a debate tomorrow against Andy Bannister. It's tomorrow, right here in the state of Georgia. It's in Kennesaw State, which is about an hour probably from Atlanta, Georgia. It's further north. It's further north from Atlanta. Inshallah, it'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The event, from what I understand, will be live streamed. Of course, they're going to record it also, so if you can't catch it on the live stream, it'll be online. I'll try to make sure that they send me a copy so I can put it up on my, my page also. But yeah, tomorrow, inshallah, myself and Andy Bannister. The topic is Jesus, man, myth, or God. Okay, man, myth, or God. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be live streamed, they say. Again, if it's not, they're definitely going to record it either way. So if you can't catch it on the live stream, then you can catch it, inshallah, on on the recording. All right. So those of you in other countries with a different time zone, be aware of that. It'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What do you advise for me if I want to read about Muhammad? Prophet Sirah. What do I advise for you? Well, I would advise that when you read, understand that Sirah is Sirah. So like the more common Sirahs you read, you have to understand that some of the stuff is questionable, right? It's not like understand that it's not like the Quran. So understand that. Understand that Sirah is different, like from Hadith, in that some of it does not come from chains, so-called chains of narrators and things like that. So you have to take it with that understanding, right? You have to take it with that understanding that it's not like the Quran. It's not, in other words, it's not revelation. So when you read it, it's not revelation. It's not like Hadith where there's alleged narrators and chains of narrators and weak and Hadith and weak and Sahih and strong and all of that. You know what I mean? So you have to take that into consideration. So yeah, that would be the advice that I give about that, is that understand what you're reading and put it in that context, put it in that frame that some of it can be questionable, some of it is questionable, whether it's actual historical or not. So be aware of that. What was that next question you said? Have you ever brung up John 20:17 to any Christians that you debate? What do they have to say about the verse? Yes, I have brought up John 20:17. What do they say in response to that? That's the verse that talks about where Jesus says that my God and your God, right? Yeah. To be honest, I don't know. I never really I can't say that I really get a direct response to that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess usually what they'll try to say is that, in response to John 20:17 is that, oh, he's speaking as a man. That's usually the response that I get. If they try to respond at all, it's usually that, oh, well, right there, he's speaking as a man. But of course, that's not a sufficient answer, because I'm like, my response to that is, what do you mean speaking like a man? He's supposed to still be God, though, right? So telling me that, oh, right there, he's speaking like a man still doesn't make sense, because he's still supposed to be God, right? So even if he's in the form of a man, he's still supposed to be God. So if he's still supposed to be God, why is he saying my God and your God, right? That doesn't make sense. So telling me that he's talking like a man right there still doesn't help you, right? That doesn't help you, because of the fact that according to their belief, he's supposed to be God himself, right? And I always remind them, just to show the contradiction though, is that, remember in Colossians, right? I forgot the verse, but in Colossians it says allegedly, that's called, of course, Paul, one of the alleged letters of Paul, not Jesus himself, but the alleged letter of Paul, says that in Jesus dwells the fullness of God. So that means he's not part of God, that the fullness, and the word fullness means the whole everything of God is indwelling in Jesus. So if that's the case, then why is he talking about my God and your God? Even if he's in the form of a man, he's still, according to Colossians, the fullness of God is him, or in him. So if the fullness of God is in him, why is the fullness of God saying that he has a God, when he's supposed to be God himself right there? So why is he saying my God and your God if he is himself God, the fullness inside of him, right? It doesn't make sense. Obviously he's not God at all, and the claim that the fullness of God is in him is a falsehood, because if fullness of God was in him, he wouldn't talk like that, right? So you know what I mean? So that's usually what they say in answer to your question. Their response is, if they have a response at all, is that, oh, he's a man, he's talking like a man right there, right? He's talking like a man right there, and that doesn't fit. That doesn't make sense because of those other verses. What was that? Let's see the statement. Ahl al-Kitab, this relates to the original ones who followed the right religion and right Injil and Torah. I don't know. Allah knows best on that. I don't know. I can't say directly if it's referring to the one or just referring to them in general. Just in general, whether they followed the right Injil or Torah or not. It's just a term that is referred to those people, right? So I can't say that if it means only the ones who followed the right Torah or right Injil. I can't say that. I can't answer that like that. I think to me it seems like it's referring to all of them, whether they were following the right or not. That's just a term that's used for them. So do you see Isaiah chapter 42 as a prophecy of Prophet Muhammad, and have you ever brought it up to any Christian? Isaiah 42, let me see, I might have used it. Let me see. Hold on, so let me get my Bible real quick. Isaiah 42. Let's see here. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. I mean, I may have brought it up. I may have brought it up. That it does point to that something would take place amongst the, because it mentions Kedar. It mentions Kedar, and Kedar is, or Kedar, I don't know if it pronounces Kedar or Kedar, wa alaikum salam, that it definitely is referring to the sons of Ishmael. That could be seen in Genesis chapter 25:13, that Kedar relates to the offspring of Ishmael, which many people believe would be, you know, related to the people of Arabia or that region. So I may have used it in some form to say at least it points to some major event taking place with the people of Kedar, or the people who come from Kedar, you know. So yeah. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, you're right. So it's like they, you know, like they're saying one thing, then they're contradicting. Wa alaikum salam, Blue Seas. Are you planning to debate the unbeliever? Who's that? Is that a person? Is that like is that their screen name? Is that the person's screen name, the unbeliever? I've never heard of them. Or are you talking about the unbeliever as a specific person? Anyway, yeah, I said tomorrow I have a debate. Tomorrow I have a debate at Kennesaw State University here in Georgia against the person by the name of Andy Bannister. So yes, I plan on debating a non-believer or unbeliever tomorrow. And yeah, King, that's what I was trying to think. I believe I did mention this verse when I debated CL. Yeah, I did mention it, yeah. And that's what I was trying to remember. It was so long ago. But yeah, I did remember. I do recall using that, referring to that verse when I debated CL. I think the topic was who is or who was the Messiah. Something to that effect was the topic of the debate. So I used this to show that there is something that points to, although in that context it was different because the subject wasn't about Prophet Muhammad. The subject was who was the Messiah. You know, so yeah, the verse may have come up in that sense. So I don't know if I used it in that debate or, okay, right, in that debate, does the Bible point to Muhammad? I believe. Okay, there you go. Right. Because I know we had that one about the Messiah, and I believe, but yeah, I was trying to think. I don't think I used that verse in that debate. But yeah, the one about pointing to Muhammad, yeah. And yeah, that's what I said. I think I used this I don't know if I used it to say that it directly points to Muhammad, but that it shows that some major event, some special godly divine event was to take place amongst the people of Kedar. So I believe I used it in that context, right? I believe may have used it in that context to say that, look, because again, the subject was point to Muhammad. It doesn't have to be, not necessarily that it's anything direct, but is there something that's pointing you in a direction towards Prophet Muhammad? So yeah, I may have used the verse in that context to point it out like that. So yeah. The unbeliever thole. That's too funny. The topic tomorrow is Jesus, man, myth, or God. We'll be discussing that. Jesus, is he a man? Is he a myth? Or is he God? That's the topic. Which one is it? Man, myth, or God? Jesus, man, myth, or God? So that's what we're going to discuss. Which one of those is he? Is he one of them? Is he any of them? Is he none of them? Which one is it? Man, myth, or God? That would be the subject. And again, that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Kennesaw State University. It is supposed to be live streamed in addition to recorded. So if you can't catch the live stream, then you can catch it. You can catch it there. Somebody who is atheist. It depends. It depends on what the subject is. You know what I mean? I most of my debates have been with believers, even of other religions. You know, but So I don't know. It depends on what the subject is. Like, I don't know. I can see myself debating an atheist if they are, because, you know, sometimes a lot of atheists are, they run in those same lanes as the anti-Islamist, right? Anti-Islamic bigots. So I can see myself debating an atheist if the subject is about, you know, is Islam a violent religion, or is Islam a danger to Western civilization, or some, you know, something in that line. I could see myself debating an atheist, because a lot of times, a lot of them, they're not Christians, they're not believers in God, but they run in those, like I said, they run those anti-Islamic, anti-Muslim bigot circles. So I can see myself debating one in that vein, right? In that vein. You know what I mean? I could see a debate on a subject like that. So we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. But all right, brothers and sisters, the show has come about. That's a question, brother. So if you have. Okay. If you had 3 minutes to explain to a Christian why you left Christianity for Islam and why you stay a Muslim. I guess I would still give the same answer that I've given throughout the years, even in my first debate, which was why I left Christianity and chose Islam. I guess the answer would still be the same, is that, you know, as a person, you know, you're if you're looking for guidance, you're looking for some type of direction. You know, you're looking for some type of direction, not only for yourself, but in my situation here in America, being, you know, of the coming from a people who were mistreated in this country by those who dominate, you know, being mistreated, and seeing that not only you yourself in a condition, and the people to whom you come from are in a condition, and you're looking for some way to, you know, better your condition as well as those from whom you are amongst. Islam, I saw Islam as providing that. You know what I mean? I saw Islam as providing that, and Christianity not providing that. You know, in fact, those who dominate the society and mistreated the people to whom I come from, and to this day still mistreat, you know, maybe not on such as wide a scale as before, but nonetheless still mistreatment. That's their religion, right? That's their religion. They profess that religion. They want you to accept it, and yet even though you profess it with them, they still mistreat you with that religion. Even though you believe in who they believe in, you believe that the God is the same God as them. They gave you that God, they gave you that religion, and yet they still mistreat you. They don't see you as a true brother or sister, right? And beyond that, of course, and then why I remain a Muslim is, you know, and not only, and let me further, because I mean, I explained it in the video. I'm just giving you a quick summary. So you said 3 minutes, so I'm making it short. So it's more to it than that, of course, the belief in God and things of that nature. And as far as why I remain Muslim today, because even like, you know, I always tell people, I've looked at the attacks. Right? I've been Muslim for many years now, and I've never shied away from looking at the attacks against Islam. Right? Like, some people are scared. They don't want to hear it. If you start talking negative, oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that. No, don't talk to me about that. They want to run away from it. Right? They want to run away from the attacks. But me, I was like, well, let me see. Right? I claim to believe and follow this belief system. So if what if these attacks are true? And I'm following something that's wrong or evil or whatever, I can't, you know, I can't do this and run away from it. I can't do this and run away. Let me look at it, because if it's wrong, then I need to get out of here. I need to leave it, right? So I've looked at the attacks. I've never ran away from them. I looked at them, and every time I looked at them, comes out that the attack was false. The attack against Islam was based upon lies, based upon misinformation, based upon distorting information. So I was like, wow, so these people are lying. So here I am. Everything they came, you lying. You're lying, or you're misrepresenting, you're distorting, you're twisting. And so I'm like, well, then there I am. So I'm not leaving Islam then. You haven't shown me anything to make me say, oh wow, you were right. That claim that you made was true. So I need to get out. This religion is crazy. This religion is evil. This religion is this, that. You're right. I need to leave. Instead, I find out that you were lying. Instead, I find out that you're misrepresenting. You're distorting. You're misquoting. So I'm like, well, since I refuted you, since your lie has been exposed as a lie or misrepresentation, I'm still here then. I'm still staying a Muslim. Because I'm looking at the claim. I do the research, find out that you were wrong. Therefore, why should I leave? I'm staying. I'm staying as a Muslim because the evidence is there. The evidence is still there. And the lies are refuted and knocked away. So that's why I stay. That's why I stay, and I still believe, and of course I stay because I believe that the teachings of Islam are beneficial. I've said this in one of the other shows too, right? That the teachings of Islam are beneficial. You know, and why are they beneficial? Not just because, and let me get it clear too, for religion, not just because they're beneficial superficially, but beneficial because they come from God, is my belief. I believe they're beneficial because they come from God, and that's what makes them beneficial, is that they're for our betterment, they're for our upliftment. And we talked about this on one of the other shows, that if the people who are having these problems that we face, especially here, like for example here in America, right? A lot of the problems that we face with alcohol and drugs and, you know, illegitimate children, sexual promiscuity, women being objectified, Islam has the answer to a lot of those problems. So if we follow those teachings, a lot of those issues that we have, those social problems, could be easily taken care of. And who knows better than the one who created humanity, created all things, to know that these are the beneficial things that can make life better for you as an individual, your family, your nation, your people, your tribe, your country, whatever, right? Exactly, blue seas, exactly. So, you know, that's what I would say. That might have taken more than 3 minutes, but that's what I would try to get it out in at least 3 minutes, as you asked there. Okay, so all right, brothers and sisters, what's this? Can you put this clip of you answering my question on my channel and link? Well, what you could do is you can take the video and have it in your playlist. You know how like YouTube allows you to make a playlist of other people's videos? You can do that. You can just take a playlist and you can, you know, I give you permission, you can include this video on your channel. Or if you want to, you can use the, I think YouTube has like an online editor where you can actually edit videos from within the program. So I think you can make your own video, and I think it should allow you to take clips. You could just take the clips from this video where I answer the questions, and you can do it like that. Right? How much does your book on Taqiyya? Oh, you know what? The Taqiyya thing, that's not a book anymore. That's a video. That's actually a video. You know, I forgot all about that. I've had it so long. But yeah, that's a video. That one's not a book. That one's not a book. Thank you, Blue Seas. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that so much. But let me say this about that real quick. I appreciate that, but like I said, if you can, brothers and sisters, if you can, make your donation to the link in the description rather than the super chat. All right, if you can, make a donation through the link in the description of this video rather than the super chat, because the super chat, you got to wait like a whole month before you get it, and also YouTube takes a pretty sizable percentage of that, right? So if you can, I prefer if you can. I appreciate whatever you do. Whatever you can do, no problem. But if you can, make a donation through the link in the description of the video, right? It's more direct. I get it directly, and I get all of it. I get all of it rather than having to share a cut with the with the platform. All right. So if you can do that, I appreciate it. But yeah, the video that video is Taqiyya. Now I have it on my site, on my channel for free. But if you want a digital, if you want a video copy of it, you can get it. It's still available on my website. So if you follow that link that I have in the description where you can make a donation, that'll take you to the website, but it'll take you to the page where you can make a donation. However, it'll still take you to the website where you can order the video Taqiyya. So if you want a video copy of it, you can still order it. You can either go to the video, right? The video on my channel, and order it through there, or just go to my website and order it there. So it's available there. Yeah, so it's a video. That one's not a book. I called it a DVB, which is something that I made up, excuse me, called a digital video book. So it's a digital video book. So it's like, I guess it's like, it would be sort of like an electronic book, except it's on the DVD. So you can actually watch it and read it on, and I'm reading it to you. Of course, you don't have to just, it's not just words. So I'm actually talking and reading on the video, but it's like a digital video book because it's mostly, written evidence. I have a few video clips, but it's mostly verses and stuff like that. It's mostly verses, it's statement from scholars and stuff like that. So I call it a digital video book. So like I said, just think of it as an ebook, except on video, right? Think of it like an ebook, except on video. All right, like that. So yeah, thank you once again, Blue Seas. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. But again, in the future, if you can, just make the donation through the link in the video description, because like I said, I get that directly with the super chat. I appreciate it nonetheless, but I have to wait like 30 days. It takes like 30 days for them to finally give it to you, and they take a percentage of it. So of that $50, they might, I might get like, who knows? I might get like $28 out of that. I mean, they take a lot, man. They take a lot. I might get like $28, $30 out of that. But nonetheless, I appreciate it. Nonetheless, I appreciate it. But again, in the future, if you want to donate, matter of fact, if you want to donate today, which I really could use, by the way, just do it through the description, the link in the description. Do it in the description. No, Yusef, the debate is tomorrow. Yusef, the debate with him is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Yeah, what I'm going to do, brothers and sisters, I contacted the host of the debate, which is the Ratio Christi organization. I asked them for the link this morning. So I'm going to check my email when we get off, see if he responded yet. But as soon as I get the link for the live stream, I'll post it on my Twitter. Okay? So just go to Twitter, look for Mr. Matter of fact, I'll post it. I'm going to see if I can post it on Twitter and Facebook. All right? Facebook is Shadid Lewis, right? Twitter is Mr. Islam Answers Back. So on Twitter, just look for Mr. Islam Answers Back, and I will post it. I'll post the link for the live stream on my Facebook, and on my Twitter. All right. As soon as I get it, I'll post it and I'll share it with you guys from there. Okay. And yeah. So it's tomorrow, brother Yusef. It's tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be live. They said they're gonna stream it. They said they're going to stream it live, so you should be able to see it. And like I said, as soon as I get the link, I'll put it up. And what you could do also, if for whatever reason you can't find my Twitter or my Facebook, what you can do, usually this will happen, is go to Google or something, and just put in Shadid Lewis versus Andy Bannister. And if it's live, that link it'll pop up that way also. Because I've done that before, like when I was looking for other people's live stream. If you go to Google and you just put in whatever that debate topic is and the names of the persons, if it's live, a lot of times Google will show it for you like that. So if you can't find it, just do that. My Twitter is Mr. Islam Answers Back. All right, type in Mr. Islam Answers Back, or put in bro Shadid, BROSHADID. So either one should be able to find it. So just put in Mr. Islam Answers Back on Twitter, or put in bro Shadid. Either one of those should take you to, if you're going on Twitter to find me, either one of those should find me. Is it? It might be. Yeah, I think I had to shorten it. Yeah, I had to shorten it. So yeah, it might be like a shorter version. It might be like Mr. Islam Answers BACK or something like that. Yeah, because I couldn't fit the whole answer back. So just try that. Do it that way, and you should be able to. Or just like I said, or just put Bro Shadid. If you put Bro Shadid, that should also take you to my Twitter. All right, so do any one of those. But like I said, once I get it, I'll share it on my Twitter, on my Facebook. Worst case scenario, if you can't find it, when it gets around 7 p.m. Eastern time, just go to Google, just put in Brother Shadid or Shadid Lewis versus Andy Bannister, Jesus, Man, Myth, or God, and something should come up that'll show you, that will show you the link to the thing. All right. So again, that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. If you live in Georgia, if any of you live in Georgia and you want to see it in person, live, just go, come on up to Kennesaw State University. If you look it up right now on my page, I have the advertisement, the flyer for it. So it gives you all the information, what time, where it's at, on campus, and all that stuff like that. So you can also find it that way. So if you live in Georgia and you want to attend, if you want to attend it in person, it's going to be at Kennesaw State University. James White debated. Oh, yesterday. Yeah, I heard the brother did good. I need to check that out, catch up with that as well. So, okay, brothers and sisters, there we have it. So, inshallah, we'll catch you up. Like I said, I'm sorry. I apologize for not doing the show the last 2 weeks, but I had to put some extra work in, brothers and sisters. You know, the beginning of the year, a lot of times, or at the end of the year, rather, things kind of slow down for business, and then it's hard to kind of catch up because things are slow, which is why I could greatly appreciate your donations. Okay, help your brother out, please. And I can't work today because of the snow. That's why I've been doing this show today. We got snow here, and I'm snowed in, so I can't go out and work. So any donations are greatly appreciated for your brother to help in that region. And again, like I said, use the link, please. Use the link. Are you doing a inshallah, I plan to. Yeah, matter of fact, I plan to. We can probably talk about the after the debate. It can be like a type of after debate show. But yeah, inshallah, I plan on doing a show this Friday, which would be after the debate, so we can discuss some of the things from the debate if we have it. And by the way, that's another thing too, brothers and sisters. As far as I know, the debate is still on, but we have some snow here in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, including up north in Georgia. So, but as far as I know, the debate is still on. That may change. It is a possibility that it could change because of the snow. So, but again, I'll keep you updated. If they cancel it or they reschedule it, I'll keep you updated because the snow is pretty bad. I can't, like I said, I can't even leave today. Matter of fact, where I live at, those of you who missed the beginning of the show, where I live at, it's kind of, there's a lot of hills that go like this. And so when I leave where I live, you got to go up a hill to get out of here, to get out of the, where we live at, right? And unfortunately, they're stopping people from leaving because there was a pileup. Cars started sliding back down the hill in the ice and the snow. So after having a pileup, now I can't even get out. I don't know now. I'm going to check and see if that thing's cleared up. But I can't get out because if I try to go up the hill, your car will slide back down because of the ice. And I don't need that. I don't need my car getting damaged. I don't want to damage nobody else's car, or I don't want nobody sliding back down and damage. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So I was told that you can't even get out of here because of the ice and the snow. So I'm basically inside, which is why I decided to do the show. I was like, well, hey, I'm free. I got free time. Let me go ahead and do the show. All right. But so I'm saying this to say that it's a possibility that, who knows, and a lot of times where the debate is, it's up in northern Georgia. That's an hour from here. A lot of times they get more snow than we do because we're further south. It's a little warmer down here, so the temperature changes. So up there, it's colder up northern Georgia, and a lot of times they get whatever we get, they get more than we do. So it could be that the event might get canceled because of the ice, and it's in the evening. And of course, when snow melts and then it gets cold at night, then the roads ice over again and it gets dangerous. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Inshallah, I hope that the debate will still take place, but be aware of that it's a possibility it could get either rescheduled or canceled due to the inclement weather. But I'll let you guys know if anything changes. All right. Have you seen Andy in a documentary called Muslim Jesus? No, I didn't. I haven't seen him in it, but I have looked up some of his stuff. Who is Andy Pastor? You will debate. No, I don't think he's a pastor. From what I know is he is a member of this organization of a person by the name of Ravi Zacharias, and they do outreach towards Muslims. So basically, they target Muslims for missionary work. That's what this organization does. They target Muslims. Instead, some groups just do missionary work to whoever. Well, this group is designed to try intentfully to get Muslims to Christianity. So that's the agenda of this group. Their agenda is focused on Muslims to Christianity. Okay? So that's what he's part of that organization. He's part of that group. So it should be a very interesting Nabil Qureshi worked with Robbie also. Yeah, I wish America also get a speaker's corner. You know, yeah, that would be cool if America did have that. If we had like that kind of speaker's corner, that would be cool if America had something like that. I'm trying to think. I don't know. As far as I know, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. But that would be cool, yeah, if we had something like that here. All right. That would be cool. All right, brothers and sisters, if there's no more questions or anything, I'll go ahead and end the show. Once again, Blue Seas, thank you for your donation. Appreciate that. Anybody else, I won't be able to see. If you did donate, I won't be able to see it until I get offline and I check, and you know, and I check the other site. But again, if you do or can donate, instead of the super chat, please use the description. I have a link to where you can donate directly in the description. All right. What was that? Have I seen the recent? No, I have not. I haven't had a chance to do too much online lately. But yeah, like I said, today I got free time, so I'll check and see what's his latest video. What is it about? What's he talking about in his latest video? What's the latest video about? Mocking Prophet Muhammad and comparing him with Paul. What? Paul? Oh my goodness. Wow, that should be, yeah, okay, that sounds interesting. I have to check that out. He had a whole Paul versus Muhammad series, and lately he tried to refute Yeshua. Paul versus Muhammad. Yeah, that's interesting. That would be very interesting. Oh, Yusha Evans? Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen anything from him recently. I haven't really been checking on him, but I need to. But again, brothers, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's difficult, man. It's difficult. As of late, it's just been difficult, man. I wish I had free up some more time so I can do more work. You know, I want to do more videos. I want to do more. You know, I want to do more stuff in this realm. But like I said, lately it's just been kind of difficult. It's been kind of difficult. Because I've been having to really, you know, put that extra work, unfortunately, outside. So, you know, he changed. I heard, yeah. I think you told me that last time that he seems to become he seems more bitter, right? You said he's become more bitter, right? He seems to become more bitter, right? Yeah. Well, as far as King, I actually did have it higher. But I lowered the price. I actually lowered the price. You know what I mean? Because it didn't seem like I was moving. It wasn't moving at all, man. It wasn't moving too much. And I said, well, okay, maybe the book is it is a small book. So I said, all right, let me bring the price down a little bit and see if I can move a little bit more. You know, I may have to. Maybe I need better advertisement. I don't know, but it's been moving kind of slow. I'll put it down. I'll be honest with you. It's moving kind of slow. So I don't know. I don't know if I need better promotion. Or people are just not interested. I don't know, but it's not moving like I thought it would move. Even for Muslims, I figured even my Muslim brothers and sisters would help me out, but it's not moving. And it's not moving. You know, it's not moving at all, man. That's why I tried to change the title to make it more catchy. You know, I tried to make it more of a catchy title, more controversial. See if that would grab people's attention. But for whatever reason, I don't. Like I said, I may need better advertising because I'm just using. I'm basically just using. You know, all right. Take care, Yusuf. I'm just using Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You know, maybe I need to do some better advertising, better promotion for it. Wa alaikum salam. All right. But yeah, that's another way. As I said, that's another way you could help. You know, if you want to help in that way, you can buy the book. You know, those are some ways. David nowadays is trying to making animated. Oh, now he's making cartoons. What? Wow. Now he's making cartoons, man. Do I have any conditions? Not really. I mean, as far as the debate itself, you mean it like as far as the debate itself? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know, as far as the debate itself or the topic or anything like that. Not really. I mean, I debate topics obviously that I'm familiar with, so that would be a condition. Obviously, I need to be familiar with the topic. I mean, that's small. I'm not going to do a topic that I'm not well versed in. obviously. So I mean, the topic has to be, I'll debate something that I'm aware of, or that I feel I can debate, because I'm not going to go up, I'm not going to do a subject that I'm not well educated in. So that would be one thing. That's basically it. And again, that's if you're asking about the debate itself. You know what I mean? Or the person. And of course, with the person, it depends on the person too. You know what I mean? I really won't shy away from a person. A lot of times, like I said, especially if it's like a hater or something like that, I don't mind, because I want to expose the hater. You know what I mean? If it's somebody like who's a well-known hater or something like that, unless there's something from the Muslim community where the Muslim community has agreed that such and such person should be ostracized, then I'll be like, okay, well, the Muslim debate community has agreed that we are going to ostracize that person. Then I'm not going to go against the Muslim community. You know what I'm saying? I'll honor their decision. So that one. So basically, it would be that. It would be that. It would be the topic. Obviously, I have to make sure that, obviously, which is smart. I mean, never accept a debate topic that you're not, or at least that you don't feel you can do. Now, if it's something that I've never debated, but I feel that I can argue the point, I'll accept it as well. But if it's something that I feel I'm not well educated or well versed in, there's no shame in saying, hey, I can't do that topic. I'm not educated enough in that topic. So it's not about the ego. I'm always going to do a debate where I know I have the information on that topic. So those would be the conditions as far as that is concerned. As far as like the actual topic or persons or something of that sort. The background stuff, that depends on the host, cover the travel and things of that nature, and fees and speaker fees and honorariums and all that stuff like that. That's the behind the scenes stuff. So that that depends on who's hosting it, who's sponsoring it, and all that type of stuff like that. So well, all right, looks like we're finished. So brothers and sisters, I appreciate you tuning in on this special show. We will go back to our regularly scheduled show on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Like I said, I couldn't do the last 2 weeks because of having to do some extra work. Financial situations, had to do some extra work. All right. But appreciate you for tuning in. Tomorrow is the debate. Don't forget, look for it live. We will definitely send you a link for it once we get it. And as I said, if you can't find the link, just go to Google and put in Andy Bannister versus Shadid Lewis. The topic, Jesus, man, myth, or God. If it is live somewhere, it'll show up. If it's live somewhere online, Google will be able to show you that it's somewhere, and you can watch it. You can watch it from there. All right. And so once again, appreciate those who donated. Once again, use that link. All right. Use the link. You can make a direct donation there. All right, brothers and sisters, appreciate it. And you guys take care. And like I said, I might be on Pal Talk today. So if you want to watch me some more, if something's going on Pal Talk, I may live stream some of my discussions or debates on Pal Talk if we find something, if there's anything going on. All right. So you can tune in to the channel again. And if there's any action going on Pal Talk, I'll live stream it so you guys can check me out in action on Pal Talk if there's anything going on. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Again, thank you for those who donated. Thank you. Appreciate that. Have a good, it's morning here, so have a good morning if you're here in the United States East Coast, or a good evening, good night, wherever you are in other parts of the world. All right. Assalamu alaikum.